All right, good afternoon, and welcome to Anarchy Trading Live London session. So today is Monday, it is the 20th, and I'm giving my new microphone a try, so pardon me if the sound sucks or it's picking up too much or whatever. We'll play with the settings in OBS. For now, I'm just trying to run it, and I'll monitor it on through YouTube just to kind of see how it's sounding. But for now, we're gonna give it a shot, see how it sounds. I definitely have already tested it for our podcast, which are gonna be great because it does sound awesome. I just don't know how it's gonna sound on the live stream. And honestly, if you've watched me trade before, you've also noticed that I tend to lounge while I'm trading, so to speak. And so I don't think it's going to work for that, especially when I start lounging back and being away from the microphone. But I still wanted to hear how it sounds. So let me just pull up the live stream here just so that I can see how it sounds through the live stream. I'll probably just live into the live monitoring here whenever it gets started. So just a sec, let me take a quick listen. Okay, well, I don't know about you, but to me that actually sounds pretty stinking good. I think it's picking up a few of the little, what do they call them? Plosives, which is when you say like P words and you get that little puff there. So I might need to create myself a little bit of a windscreen for this bad boy. But anyway, at least for the start, we're gonna go with the mic here, and then maybe as the day goes on and I start getting a little bit more relaxed and waiting for the markets to do something, I'll lean back and we'll switch over to just my iPhone, my MacBook microphone where I can take a little bit of a break here. Let me see, how does this mute thing work? Okay, cool. So we're making progress. All right. So enough of that. Enough of that. Let's start with the news. So today, Monday, the 20th, and pretty much no news. Little bit yellow folder for German PPI. We've got, and that's about it. That's it. So nothing today, which is nice. We are going into a holiday weekend. Just be aware for all you Americans out there and all, I guess all you non-Americans. Thanksgiving is this week, so the markets will be closing early, especially US 30, later in this later in this week. November Thanksgiving's on the 23rd, so we will be um, not trading during that day because that will be Thanksgiving. And I also have a rock climbing class that I'm going to be teaching on Thursday, so I'm probably going to be busy during that time. So probably only be trading 4 days a week right now for the foreseeable future, unless I change my trading time and try to trade a little later in the day, maybe 6 or 7, so during the middle of London. It may be interesting to see. I think the markets, from what I've seen, move pretty well during that time. So it may be an interesting time to try moving and seeing how that goes. But no news that we need to worry about today, so we'll close that. I do like to show the progress that we're actually making on your account, so I will refresh this so you can see it is current data. Last week was a really good week, actually. We did 3 point, I don't remember what we did. What did we do yesterday? Something like last week, 3.5% or something last week, I think. You'll have to remind me. I don't remember. But anyway, let's see. We started down on the account last week at 1.57% down, and we ended up 1.687. So yeah, just over 3, so maybe 3.2 or something. I don't know. Can't do them. I don't feel like doing the math, but decent. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 solid positive days in a row, and I actually can. So we have our track writer trading rev privileges here. Um, Still up. We can look at our quick summary if you want. So yeah, DAX has still been killing me somehow. I don't know. But anyway, we're doing really well in US 30, so let's keep that going. And so let's move on. It was a rough day on Friday. As you may remember, we got barely stopped out of some huge moves, and that's okay. I mean, at least we didn't lose money, but still, it was pretty discouraging when we could have gone a long ways up and almost passed this challenge if we just stayed in a couple trades. So that's there. I will show you that also from the prop firm account page just so that you can see my That's my old one as I was looking at the past one. Let me go here. So as you see, last 5 days we had 74, 59, 113.61, and then $15. So we've had 5 positive days. They haven't all been big days, but they have been positive. So very happy with that. Close that. We can always just check this out just to kind of see what things are doing from the fundamental standpoint. Going to move over to US 30. So retail still heavily shorting the Dow, but so is our institutions. So we've had a big run up, so it'll be interesting. Even with all that run up, we have not seen a very big change in the institutional positioning. So it'll be interesting to see when it updates this week which way that has gone, especially with that big run up that we've seen. I tend to think that this number is going to be changing, but maybe not. So let's wait and see. But with that being said, let's get on with our charting because we have market opening in about 10 minutes, and so we're going to want to be ready for that. So I'm currently I switched from Pepperstone or whatever I was using to Black Bull because Pepperstone is having issues last week. So we could see if that's still the case. Let's see, US 30. Looks like it's fine now, so I'm going to go back because I just like the time frames and how the candles, there was something wrong with the Black Bull where the time just, the market open or something was weird. I don't really know why that was, but anyway. There's our German 40. All right, cool. So let's start with the Dow. So we're going to start off on our daily here. And we've already got a few lines, so I'm just going to leave them on there. How we do is we're going to put purple at the high of day and the low of day. We can get rid of this one from last week because we're going to have a purple line there. And then we'll start putting yellow lines wherever we think essentially daily resistance points where price could go to. The number one is kind of this the close of Thursday and the open of Friday. That would be number one. If price kept on going, it go the high of last Thursday, and then if it keeps going, we'll say the high of Wednesday, and then of course the high of Friday, which went all the way up to 3,500 and then rejected off. So we have seen that this happen multiple times in August, then in September, and now we're here in November. It'll be interesting to see whether we reject this 3,500 again and go down, especially, I mean, we've had such a big move. Maybe it just needs to cool off a bit and then it can keep going. But I would say that we're currently going to need some retracement here in order to cool off a little bit before we keep going up. But again, we don't know that for a fact, so we're just going to keep following what price tells us to do. The thing is to remember that there's an equal distribution between green and red days, which simply means that honestly, the long term trend for us as 5 minute scalpers doesn't actually matter. And we can just pay attention to whatever price tells us for the current day. So, hourly, it's kind of a messy chart from an hourly perspective. I'm going to delete some of these just to clean it up a little bit because I could erase everything, but we already had some of this stuff there. So, we're just going to get rid of all this. Okay. So first things first, we have this area up here, which has been rejected a couple times. Then we have all of this area down here, a lot of wicks. And then finally, we have some more minor stuff up here on the 5. And then we have more down here. Pretty much all we need. And then if we go up, of course, we don't really have anything. We have this big candle, but we don't have anything till we get up to about here. Okay, so that's all we need for the hourly. Let's look at the 5 and see what we've got. So we've got this large wick here rejecting, but we could come up and try to fill that wick. So I would say there, there, maybe here. Okay. And this is just garbage down here, so break that. Got a lot of wicks though down here, so this will be interesting. Big push up right now here right before market open, but we've got some areas now. So if it closes above here during market open and then maybe it closes up, retests here, and then starts pushing up, we can start looking for longs, although beware the 200 is up here. We also have this and this and this. So we have a lot of, I guess, areas to bounce through. And if we go down, we've got some room to move and plenty of room to the downside as well. So definitely quite a bit of interesting ways to go. We do have a lot of chop here on the left right now, so it'll be interesting to see what we do here in the open. Let's move over now to the DAX. I already have my lines up here, so we're just going to move them. Purple high of day, purple low of day, and then targets. I kind of like this area because we have this open and close. We have this wick, all of these, all these. It's a good level. We have this at the open of Friday. Maybe halfway, and then finally down here. And if it goes above, we have the high of whatever day this was, Friday the 15th of September. And then if we keep going, we've got the high of this day, and then finally the high of this day, which we could all relatively easily hit. We did gap up over the weekend, so now we're coming down. We filled that gap. Let's see if this maybe comes down halfway, down to maybe this yellow candle, and then maybe we start pushing back up, or we, as I said, or you don't usually see this very often. Like it was almost a year ago before we saw overbought territory on the RSI for the DAX. So maybe we could see we're there now. So maybe we could see us push down to try to cool off a bit before going again, coming down even to this level right here before then going back up. Yeah, just a very steady, as you said, we had this, and oop, oh man. Okay, this hourly uptrend is still being very well respected, and we're at the bottom of it now. So I'll be curious to see if we get a bounce or a break of that. Because if we get a break of this, I would definitely could be interested. We could get quite a good move to the downside as well. So we have support here. Resistance up here, obviously. Nothing more until it honestly comes down here or something. And let's take a look at it on the 5 here. Market about to open. And maybe there's a middle one if we want a middle target, depending on what stuff is looking like. Okay. So there we go. Our charting is done for the day. Let's pull our side-by-sides up here so we can see what's going on. This should be 15 minutes, shouldn't it? And then we'll make this one 5 minutes. So yeah, right at the bottom of the channel of this trend line, which it's been really respecting that for a while. So the market about to open here, 3 seconds. Let's see what we get. Opening down, now firing right back up. It's a Monday, things could be volatile. Markets have been sitting for the weekend, whatever news is. So let's see what happens. DAX driving up high. This big rejecting wick on the Dow might not mean anything, but with it pushing down before market open, I could see maybe we try to come back up, retest again. We keep pushing down. I'd like to see if DAX breaks this trend line, I would definitely like to possibly get in on that. So let's see here. I want to look at this on the hourly just so you see this trend line, which has been followed to a T since last Tuesday. So pretty interesting. Been very respected. So we'll be interested to see how this transpires today and whether we can break down, and then start filling this gap, which would be really nice. This should be US 30. Why is it DAX? There we go. Again, price action isn't great, a bit choppy. But this is just the first few minutes of market open, so we're just going to wait and see how things transpire here over the next few minutes. Okay, and so I was just listening to the audio again on OBS, see how it sounded on the live stream. So I was just listening to the live stream, and let me know, but I think it sounds great. So very, very pleased. Early Christmas gift from my brother, so thank you, Levi. It is a fabulous gift, and I've been wanting one of these things for a while, so really nice that we can actually have some solid audio. And now just need to upgrade the camera a little bit. Camera setup. I'm going to get some curtains for the windows, which I actually already have in here. Just have to get them installed later today. But it also means that I probably need to mute every time I need to sniff. I'm a little under the weather right now. My kids have been sick, so pardon me, I'll try to mute instead of snorting in your ear. All right. But yeah, feel free to let me know in the comments how the volume and sound quality is. So we did see a big push up here. US 30 pushed all the way up to essentially the 200, and now we're rejecting. DAX rejecting as well. I mean, if we wanted to play aggressive, we could potentially get in a little early, maybe up here, but I would like to actually see it break this trend line. So if we can push down, maybe retest this trend line. Honestly, this doesn't need to be there. Like, this could be, that could be like, if we're just looking at structure, we could have this here, or even a bit more aggressive. Somewhere like here. Because, yeah, we had this big drop. And then, yeah, we came up here, but it coincides with the trend line. And this, all the price action over here, the closes were like right there. Oh, so we could possibly get, instead of waiting for it to come all the way down here, we could possibly get in here if, and it's a big if because we respected this trend line quite a bit, if it breaks down. But right now, it's about 4 minutes into the market open, and we've seen it essentially knock traders out both directions. This is why we don't trade the open. I mean, check this out. So right now we're exactly in the middle of a 20 pip candle, so not a very big candle. But we've gone 10 in one direction, 10 in the other. You see it up here, people get in long, probably stop loss down here or here if they get knocked out. It comes down here, people get in short, stop loss up by the 9 or 200, and then it gets like people have been absolutely, retail trailers have absolutely gotten decimated in that. in that candle. I guarantee you. So the one's a mess. If you just look at it on the one, it's just absolutely nothing going on here on DAX. Just horrible trading. Dow has a huge push up, so I am monitoring Dow. What I need to see though is we need a pullback, or we wait up here and then get a pullback. But right now it's just moving too fast for us to just hop in. And DAX I don't want any part of yet because we're just in consolidation. So now that we have that wick, I'm going to move that up a little bit because this wick shows rejection. So if it comes below this wick, like if it fills the wick, but then closes below, retests, and then goes short, then I'd be willing to get in. But right now, this wick, you don't want to short into that wick. We may come down, fill the wick, and then just bounce right back up, which is what the trend line would seem to dictate. So we're exactly at this red box here with the Dow. So it'll be interesting to see whether we reject here, especially we're right at the 200 as well. Are we going to reject the 200 and come down? Or are we going to continue to push on out of here? We do have a lot of candle here to fill, so I'd be interested to see if perhaps we fill this candle onto this big red candle to the left at some point today. But again, a bit too early to tell yet. So here we have DAX coming down again, testing this support, kind of testing this wick. So we're trying to fill the wick, kind of moving in its opposites. If we look at Dow, we had this big move up. DAX didn't really do much, and now we're driving down. So kind of opposite. Not completely, but a little bit. As I said, if I wanted to get in on this big down move, I would need it to pull back significantly more, at least half of this candle. So if we can see Dow pull back here and then get some momentum going back up, we could potentially consider getting in long, even though maybe somewhat risky, but we do have some support here that we're bouncing out of. So I'd be interested. So let's get our calculator open here. Okay, so it did come down. That might have been all the retest we get, right? Like that honestly was a pretty good retest. And with this driving, could we consider getting in long here if this turns green? Yeah. It's just, I don't know if it's too soon. So I don't want to just jump in. It hasn't turned green yet. We did make a new higher high, but we've got this 200 here, which is going to provide some resistance. And now we're coming back down. So let's be patient and just wait and see what happens. DAX especially is still driving down. So I want to be careful that we don't get ourselves into a sticky situation. It is Monday. Let's just be careful. Let's not rush into anything. A lot of trading day still to go. We see DAX finally breaking down now. We've made a new lower low now compared to this wick. So it'll be interested to see where we close in the next 5 minutes. Are we going to wick back up? One minute left on the second candle of the market open. 15 still looking strong. If anything, it's hard to tell what's going on with the 15 on DAX. We could just see it doing a little bit of a bounce here, so a little bit of a double bottom before we respect this trend line and keep going up. Especially that's kind of the way Dow seems to be going. And if so, wouldn't be a surprise to see DAX follow. Which also means I might be interested in getting in DAX early. But not yet. No, especially not when it's flirting underneath this trend line. So again, DAX as the Dow has come down, it hasn't gone up. It's just kind of indecision. We've got a doji here. Could push up after this. It could push up this next candle, cooled off a little bit, and then push up. But right now, it's up here while DAX is still falling. So to me, it means be cautious. Like, no, they're not always correlated, but when they're not moving together, you should pay attention. So again, closed right on this line. Would have liked to see it close a little bit farther down. Still dropping. Never got much of a retest at all. It just opened up, ignited. So now just let's wait and see. Because to me, this could very much still be a bounce and it's going to go bullish. But not yet. Got to be patient. Dow did make a new higher high here, which it's going to need to if it's going to keep going on, but we're still flirting with this 200. So we're getting rejected. So we've now gone up there twice, getting rejected. So we'll be interested now to see what happens. We've got a little bit of a retest on Dow now, on the DAX now. But we do have this low of day. So it's just hard for me to want to do much right now, especially with Dow being up here. Like, if Dow's looking like I might take it long if something went well, DAX is still breaking down. So, broke the low of day. So we now have a new lower of day. But I'm going to leave it right here, sucking up. Yeah. Now, as I said, let's see where we close. Push down, but instant rejection. So we're now below this trend line. You don't want to go long below this trend line, but going short right now, especially after that big rejection, not in a huge rush to do that either. Let's see, we could get a bit of a double bottom here. Maybe it plays around a little bit and then we start shooting back up. Right now, Dow, after that big push up, now just consolidating. Red, green, red, green, red, green. This is going to be our first 15-minute candle here in 2 minutes. Again, just dojis. If this could close above, then it would come down, maybe retest the 200, and then we could get a flip with some momentum, and we try to at least take it up to here. That would be nice. But again, we're going to have to wait and see. So still consolidating. Like, it's tried to push up a couple times. We've seen a couple rejections of this essentially 15,900 level. So psychological number, psychological support. It's held it. We've rejected it a couple times here on this candle. Let's see where they close it. So let's see if we close above this green or below. Okay, so Dow now trying to make a move. So now let's monitor Dow. Want to see where we close here in the next 40 seconds, especially as we have DAX still breaking down. So moving in opposition. Still waiting to see if we respect this trend line. Interested where we close here in the next 20 seconds. Dow making a big move up. Okay. So we'll be waiting to see if we can get a retest of this level here of the 200 essentially, and then drive up. But that's a big move. Big move on DAX. DAX tempting to get in long here. There it goes. Not really my strategy, but I want to get in because this is a nice rejection, nice sweep. But we have all this consolidation here, especially to the left, so there's no point getting in. If it goes long, there's plenty of time to get in if it breaks up above here. So for Dow, we've now hit this. Like now we're going to essentially have a triple top. If we come down here though and get some momentum going up, am I willing to trade it? Yeah. Yes, I am. But we could just start driving down now as well. So nothing super clear now, especially with Dow and DAX moving kind of in opposites, so to speak. Uh, I'm hesitant to want to get in on either of them since this one's looking like it goes up. That looks like it's going down. Okay, so big rejection now. Honestly, seen this before, and it's like, oh, you think it's going to go short, but no, it's just coming because what do I usually say? Expect it to come down, test half of this candle. So we're coming down for half of that candle. So I'll be interested if we come down and test half of this candle. Do we then have enough momentum? Because that's a big bullish candle. So do we have to come down, test this, and then have enough momentum to keep pushing back up? Possibly. It wouldn't surprise me. So I'm still not, I'm definitely not bearish on this. I've seen like this big candle come down and then it picks up. I wonder if I could find some examples. I'll have to find an example later. But we just saw this like last week. So DAX is coming down again to try to fill this wick. Dow is testing the 9. Half of that candle right there is that's half of the 15 at this red line. So again, interested to see what happens now. DAX continues to make a new lower low though. So hopefully you can't hear the blender in the background too much, but got a blender going on. People's to make someone's getting a smoothie. Okay, so contemplating getting in now, honestly, long on Dow. I'm being a little patient, maybe a little too patient, but I don't want to see it just reverse on me and come back down. Because yes, we're below this red line, but I'm kind of viewing it as a deep retest. So I'm still patiently waiting here. But if we get above here, then I'm probably above the 200, then I'm probably getting in. Even if it is moving an opposite with the DAX, who knows which one's going to follow which, so it doesn't really matter. But we just got to be patient, though. Yeah, see, good thing I didn't hop in there when I wanted to, just on one candle, because now we're still breaking down. Big breakdown on DAX. So that kind of ruins my long hypothesis. So, all right. This red line support, if it breaks that, we're going short. So let's see where we close in the next 30 seconds. Again, no need to feel like you have to get into a trade. Just be patient. Be patient. So yeah, now big bearish candle. Are we going to push all the way down? Be interesting to see where we close in the next 10 seconds. So now, let's see where we go. Can we get a little bit of a pullback? If so, I want to pull back up to the 9 here, but we have a lot of downward pressure. If we could get a pull back up here to the 9 and then break down, I would love to be in short. DAX just opening ignited. There we go, coming back up. Dow coming back up. So we're retesting this area on Dow now and DAX. So be interested to see what happens now. Still waiting patiently. So still is waiting to see a rejection here. I'm just waiting for this turn colors. Nothing yet. Still kind of just toying around. May just be cooling off too. May need to wait. Come up a little higher and then drive down. So let's wait and see. Or as I said, this push down a long ways and now we're going to go bullish again. It's very possible. Hard to tell. Let's just wait and see where we close. Because think about it. It could come down. Now it comes up. Now it retests here a little bit and then we push back up. It hasn't really retraced too far, this whole movement. Yeah, it's just below 618. But let's see. I like it for breaking down, especially for Dow. But need to see a little bit more to convince me. Still driving up though, so let's just be patient. This is still a retest. Like there's no issue to worry about this yet, but I'm still waiting. About a minute 20 left on this candle. So just waiting here. Nothing's broken down yet. It's hovering. Maybe this was a fake out. Or maybe not. We just have to be patient. So let's wait and see. All right, I'm in short DAX. This turned red. This didn't quite turn red at the same time, so maybe I should have gone in Dow. I was looking at the DAX. I like how the DAX has nothing below it, so I just like the price action how it looks better. And since they're kind of following each other now, I'm hoping that this will continue to break down now. So let's wait and see. Let's see where my stop losses and everything. Right there. Stop loss somewhere right there. Aiming for down there. Gap up. Not very encouraging. All right, so we did reject, sort of, but I probably entered a little early. Like I did like the big rejecting candle, but maybe should have waited for the candle to close and waited for this because now we may come up for another retest. So let's see what happens. We're below the trend line now. Honestly, my stop should be bigger, right? Like my stop should be up here. It's not. Should have had it bigger because now it's tight, which was probably a little bit of FOMO in me. So let's see. As I said, we may get knocked out of this because this looks like we could, who knows? Let's watch and see. But this could be very quick trade. So retesting. Let's see if we can drive down now. All right, we're out. Okay, we were wrong on that. We did wait for a breakdown. I don't feel bad about that trade. As I said, if I'd done it on here, might have because this uptrend, but on this one, it looked very nice. So I'm not going to feel bad about that. Probably should have had a tighter stop loss though. I mean, a wider stop loss. Because if we eject it now, I'm going to want to get back in. And indeed I will, but it's going to irritate me because that was just poor. That was a bit of a aggressive, me being a little bit too, me wanting to just get a quick profit. All right, so I did say sometimes the big hands and just push out of here, which it kind of is doing now. Maybe it'll reject it now and start pushing down. But anyways, we just may have entered a bit prematurely on this. I don't really think so, though. For my style, I'm fine with it. Yeah, I will say that I did not put my stop high enough. Stop should have been at least right there, above the 9. It wasn't. So I got what I deserved. That's a nice rejection. All right, we're in one more time. If we get knocked out, it was a short day of trading. So now we've rejected it a second time. We've rejected the 9. Our stop's above there now. So we'll add one more on top of it because that's where we are. It's where I should have entered in the first place, irritatingly enough. Oh my word. Our stop's in the right spot now, if that's encouraging. I don't think anything else is encouraging, but at least we've got this stop up here or something. So nice rejecting wick. I mean, this looks nice if we can now continue to drive down. Let's look what we got on the 15. This is a new 30-minute candle. So big push down. Our stop is up here, which is where it should have been in the first place. Yeah, maybe it should be above here, the trend line, but not usually how I trade. So let's wait and see. So you could say, yeah, I mean, Dow is driving up a little bit, but we've been rejected twice here as well. And price action on Dow, they don't always move the same. So I'm not gonna, so it's definitely looking better. But we do need to see it push like equal lows here. I'd like to see it come down here, right? Like we need to start seeing it push. Otherwise, we're just gonna go back up. All right, so Dow's pushing back up strong. Let's see if DAX follows suit, or if we reject here in the next minute and 50 seconds. This has been a doozy of a trade, as have most of our trades recently. So price can't figure out what to do. Pushed up one more time now. Big red candle coming down. Let's see if that has enough momentum now to start pushing us. We need to break the low. We're at the exact same spot now. So let's see if we can keep pushing. Let's see where this candle closes in 15 seconds. Let's see where we close in the next minute. We're going to close below or above this red line. We've got a lot of wicks up here now, which is nice. We've got the 9 above us. So we've rejected this once, twice, 3 times now. But we're essentially consolidating. It's just consolidating. I mean, that's all it is. It just looks nice on with wicks. It like makes us feel better, but it's just consolidation. So Right now, let's see where we close in the next 15 seconds. If we could push down a little bit, close red, that would be nice. All right, so close below again. I'll be interested to see if we can push out, push down. Dow is up, but DAX coming red. We really need to break this level right here. So what would be important is to break here. Because right now, like this is a, yeah, this is this consolidation between here and there. So we're getting rejected by the 9 again. Like, I don't know how many times they're going to have to reject it in order to, like, break down. So we're trying to break down again. Which is good. As I said, you can't go long here, so this is clearly like we're still in a short position here on DAX because that's what the data tells us. Like that's what the signs are telling us. But it's consolidating, not wanting to break down. So I wouldn't blame anyone if you just wanted to get out at just under break even. Okay, we're in profit now by $1, where we were for a second. So we are trying to push down. All right, I'm out. We've consolidated too long, and with Dow pushing up, and with this making a base, we could regret that, as it probably just now decides to push. But we're out at break even on that one. Just didn't break down the way. There's nothing wrong with getting out of a trade. So, we got out of there $3. Great, break even trade. We don't need to feel bad about that. And now we wait for a better trade. So even if this was to go our way, it just didn't go the way we were expecting. And it started consolidating. Dow's going up. So when you start entering all this garbage on the one, like what's the point of staying in? At this point, we don't know which way it's going. So let's just be patient. And if I was a betting man, I'd be saying we're going to go bullish on DAX. Hard to tell though, because price action sucks. So let's go look at US 30. US 30 is pushing up nicely. Again, we're right back up at this 200. So again, just consolidation. Don't feel bad for not being in this at all. So I don't, as I said, my first one was good, but too tight of a stop loss. Second one was also good, but it consolidated, so we got out. So I'm good with that. So we're going long off this bounce here. And again, does it fit my rules? Not exactly. Uh, but because of the strong base we have, and the inability to break down, I think we're going to go up. Like, it's that simple. So it's nothing, it's not brain science, it's not rocket science. So it could even move to break even now. It was a big move. So let's just watch, see which way it moves. Let's see how it reacts to this trend line. I'd like to see it blow past it. So we could also be retesting this and getting ready to go short, which is why I moved my stop loss to break even. Because if it doesn't keep pushing up, we could just turn around and then break down, which is maybe what we're seeing happen right here. Yeah. All right. Dow breaking down. This went big shoot up. Now it's breaking down. But it's breaking down right back into consolidation. So let's just be patient. Excuse me. Big breakdown there. Now let's see if we can break through all of these wicks here, which will be important. Or are we just going to see a retrace? There was this a bit of just a retracement. Again, this high, lower, high, but we're still in an uptrend. It hasn't been broke. I mean, I guess you could say this hasn't, but let's wait and see. Yeah, now we're getting a big bounce up. So DAX continues just to consolidate. I'm in Dow long on this bounce. Okay. So I like this move. Little retest, rejection, big move up. Um, DAX also going up after coming back down, but it's in consolidation. I don't like how DAX is moving. So we're in Dow, and we're gonna try to go long. Seems like we've been buying Dow a lot, but it hasn't given us reason to do anything else. So let's wait and see here. So our stop's in the right spot here now, but the fact is we just have to wait and see. I'm probably getting a little too far away from the mic. I'll probably switch over. Let me switch over to my other mic here, and then I can relax. All right, so there we go. So we should be able to be fine there. Moved over to the in computer in the mic in the computer, and this is just not looking good. Like, yeah, now Dow driving down at DAX driving down again, consolidation like crazy. So many wicks. Let's see if US 30 though can pick up a wick, or if we're just gonna drive down, get knocked out. So coming down again. Horrible price action. Look at DAX. This is just unbelievable. Well, yeah, pretty much it. I'm done for the day. Disappointing. Hard to read price action. Consolidation is what it is. All right, well, hey, better time next time. A quick live stream today. Good luck, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.